All right, so I just wanted to see what was going on Twitter, give my opinion on some stuff. Saw a lot of stuff going on, so just wanted to comment on it. Wanted to go over some stuff that I was kind of just came to my mind here as I was scrolling through. One of them is you always need to make sure somebody is being held accountable for doing their job. People slack off without accountability to assume otherwise. One could say the other person doesn't have enough world experience or perspective. So basically, with that, just coming to some realizations and just talking to some people and just having experience in different jobs and things of that nature, you see that sometimes people in positions that are supposed to be positions of leadership, people just assume the best of people. People assume they're going to do their job. People assume that they're qualified and competent, but and not corrupt. But I mean, you can just see every day there's different news stories about people in law enforcement, doctors, nurses, teachers, politicians. People being found guilty of corruption and doing all kind of stuff that they don't um, that they might even talk against. Being hypocritical and being corrupt. So that's just seeing some of the politicians, looking at some of the news. I just thought about that. Like you have to hold people accountable. You can't just vote for somebody and expect them to do what they say they're going to do. You have to have some kind of mechanism. If you're not going to do it, then you need to be paying somebody else to do it. You always have to basically make sure you hold people accountable, even if it's not just a job. You got to hold your kids, yourself, your spouse accountable, because people seem to um, want to take the easy way out, and sometimes the accountability and being accountable is not the easy way. I mean, it's usually not the easy way. This I saw right here said body cam police officer uses force that prompted a lawsuit. Now, for most of the video, there's no audio for whatever reason. But this happened in Covington, Kentucky. So there's some kind of interaction between the police officer and this man or person. So the police officer is stopping him for some reason. Now he's walking away. Well, it looked like he was about to walk away. He seems to be in some kind of disagreement with the officer. So now he's gonna walk away. The officer put his hands on him, must have told him, or I'm guessing he might have said something like, "Hey, don't move," or and he's saying he resisting. So he just arrested. I mean, I guess depending on who you talk to, some people say it's successful, some people won't. If he was black, I know some people, some of the racists would say he should just comply. So you know, if this is conservative, the conservatives probably be mad. If it's a liberal, the liberals probably be mad. So they say you abuse me. So I guess that's all you got to do to get a lawsuit. Let's see if you win. Is this excessive force? Did the officer overstep his boundary? Was that person? Was that guy doing something he ain't had no business doing? Oh, well, you can't even see the video. Dang. Let me see here. Forgot. Got the. Let me redo this video. So let me fast forward it. So basically, the officer stopped this guy. Let me go to the part where he stopped him at least. He's driving. For whatever reason, he approaches this guy. And they're having a conversation. Look like this guy ain't really having it. He got his arms under his shirt or sweater or whatever that is, turtleneck. But right here, you see the guy that tries to walk away. And I'm guessing the officer said something to the extent that don't move. And the officer grabbed him up. Could you grab an officer up like that? I mean, I guess who really gives the officers the authority? Do the people give the officer the authority? If it was somebody, if it was you or somebody you knew, would this be okay?
So,
And I bet no matter what though, the officer ain't gonna take accountability.
weapons on you?
You abused me.
Okay.
You abused me. You just
So you
abused me.
can't have
Stand
enforcement
up.
not taking
Oh, that's nothing to
responsibility
do
or
with me. You
accountability.
just threw me against the.
That's why one of the reasons
Any weapons
society
on you? Any drugs?
is
Nope. And I
the
have
way
no
it is
idea who
now.
this man was. He just threw me.
Hypocritical people that don't
Why
take
did you stop
responsibility
me?
or accountability.
Why did you stop me? Why did
They
you
don't
stop me?
practice what they preach or keep their own standards. All right, let me share my screen again so I can see what else is on Twitter here. Let me see. It's a fact when a racist complains of unfairness or injustice, they are being a hypocrite. That's pretty self-explanatory. You know, somebody is evil and hateful and jealous and just trying to make somebody else's life miserable. And then they talk about something that's unfair and just. Yeah, that's a fact. They're being a hypocrite. They know it. Everybody know it. These fake people have a lot of anxiety. It should have been insecure people. Don't feel comfortable being themselves for whatever reason. I'm not gonna go into all that. This right here, a lot of people are quitters. They sometimes crash out instead of being mature about it. Quitters usually don't like to be held accountable and are really reliable sometimes. Well, you know, with something like this, I would just again have some people, man, they crash out, do some stupid stuff, you know, and it's just like they really a lot of them. I don't say in some cases, some of those people just that's just a way of giving up, and you got some people just miserable and you know want to take out other people with them. This is another one. Some people want someone else to be their leader. Some want to follow. Some rather lead their own life. Different mindsets, so different expectations. Yeah, if somebody a follower, they're gonna have a whole different mindset than somebody that's a leader. And if you try to turn a follower into a leader, it's probably gonna turn into arguments and other stuff that probably ain't very productive with your time. And then I got what the media have people thinking in certain ways, rather sure or not, relationships or or I don't even remember or not leadership or questions or not. Oh, that should have been research. So basically, the media, you know, the media influences people to think certain ways depending upon the narrative and the picture they're trying to paint. People will believe something whether it's true or not. Then most people aren't going to do really research. Most people don't even ask questions like that. They ask questions of the people they don't trust, not of the people they do trust. When you need to be asking questions to everybody, because anybody can lie, and you ask questions to learn more. But they go back to the whole leader thing. Some people don't. Some people don't want to take certain responsibilities or know certain things because they ain't trying to do nothing about it. This is another one. All groups are not the same. You can say we all know we're not all the same. Whether you want to say we equal or not, someone's better than others. I really don't care either way. Pretty much it's about what you contributed to this world. You can try to live vicariously through your group, but if it's 10 green people and 9 of them do great things, and you one of the ones, you the only green that didn't do anything, you taking credit for those other 9 really don't really do much. You lying to yourself, basically. But all groups are not the same. All have contributed some. All have contributed, and some try to keep score. That's where you get some people that's like racist or bigoted and try to act like they group is better than the other or whatever. And we did this, we did that. Like I said, usually they have that the person saying that has very minimal accomplishments or contributions, and then they be hating on their own group anyway. A lot of times, or might be outcasted, or be snaking their own group. But I just put we are different. Even like if we rooted for the same sports team, every group has a different perspective. Some people choose not to acknowledge that for whatever reason. So basically, if somebody's like a Cowboy fan, you have a white person that's a Cowboy fan, a black person that's a Cowboy fan. They might be rooting for the same team, but they still have different perspectives. Everybody has a different perspective based off of they different groups and their mindset. Men ain't gonna have a different mindset than women. NBA players gonna have a different mindset. A black NBA player is gonna have a different mindset than somebody that's black and not an NBA player. That don't mean that they don't have commonalities, but it's gonna be certain things where they kind of branch off to their own thing. So you can always, well, I guess my point is you can always separate different groups, but depending on the thing, that a person is gonna have a different perspective of it. And the biggest groups that we really keep track of is like men and women or races. It showed a robot collapsing. I don't know if this is true or not, but if it is, it says, and I don't know if we got all the information. I mean, I know we don't, but it just says robot collapses after working for 10 hours. I wonder where they got that information from. But the robot just collapsed after 10 hours. They have people working in factories for sometimes 10 hours, 5, 6, 7 days a week. And then I noticed people always have to be. A lot of times you have to be fixing the machines; they break down. So when you get some of these people that don't like themselves, a lot of times people don't like other people. They get to talk about robots and all this stuff is the answer and all this other stuff. Just because they don't like themselves don't mean that's the thing. Insecure people, they it's just like it's just wow. It's wow, man. We get a robot done broke down. So don't so everybody was working like certain jobs where they have to work 10 hours a day. They need to be showing this video because if the robot breaking down, either the people need a raise or they need to be working less hours or something. Robot just tapped out. unreliable. It says people worship money. They will jock a lame if the lame is rich. Money trumps pretty much everything and is motivation for most. A lot of people's actions show this. Yeah, I mean, you can see it could be a person that's a rapper that was a cornball, and then they put on this persona, and he rich. Now people are like, yeah, what they, you know, say they want to be like this person, or they want to be around this person. That's just how it be. So it ain't nothing about the person's character and none of this. If they didn't have the money, they wouldn't want to be around them. So the people they worship money. A lot of people worship money. A girl can talk to a guy that's rich. Well, she'll talk to a guy that's and that's her preference. You know, I'm not saying it's right or wrong, but if a dude she don't like is rich, she'll give him a chance. You know what I'm saying? Then if she don't like him and he ain't rich, you know, he can just be, you know, just a middle class person. Probability kind of go down on the cooperation and the chances. Oh yeah, this is as I said. You know, man, I guess was just watching some stuff and some stuff came to me. But if a person is a certain type of hater, they can be helped. Maybe they can be helped. Yeah, 'cause I don't know. Maybe they can, maybe they can't. But why waste your time trying to help these haters out? Why waste your time just in case they can't be rehabilitated? You get away from them. If they're a hater, they more likely to try to sabotage you. Waste your time. Won't support you. Be fake, man. In this world, it's best to be, you know, get with the people that's actually gonna help you. Everything going up. I ain't got time to be inflation. I'm worried about bills and stuff like that. I ain't got time to be trying to have somebody see my humanity when they hypocritical and ain't got no humanity. I don't need nobody projecting their insecurities onto me. I need people trying to help. And when I see people trying to, for me, my perspective, when I see people that want to actually associate with people like that, I got to look at them like maybe they got that kind of spirit in them, and maybe they insecure also. I don't want to get accepted by. I don't really care about being accepted by no hater. This was just gonna try to make me feel insecure, sabotage, and all this other stuff. Anyway, create problems. But checking out this video, I thought this was pretty funny with the people somewhere it looked like in Asia. Some guy got a some person got a look like a pet otter, and they got the otter dressed up. Like the otter getting a lot of attention. The otter seemed cool. These animals not soulless and stupid as people try to make them out to be. A lot of times, the people that try to downgrade these animals and talk about what they ain't, those be the kind of people projecting, unfavored by nature. I have to bookmark this one. I'm gonna have to share this one. I thought this was just something nice here. You know, try to put some kind of positive stuff on the timeline also with so much negativity out there. That negativity can, even if a person try to be positive, sometimes you can forget, and that negativity can sneak around you. This is disrespectful as hell. I guess this will be the last thing I'm gonna talk about here, but this was for the Iverson statue. Now, maybe I just can't tell how big this is. I would expect it. For some reason, I'm getting Pinocchio vibes or something like that, like Pinocchio statue. But just really thought this would probably, like I said, maybe it's just my perspective and vantage point here. But hopefully AI like it. He's an icon. But I was looking at some of his teammates, man. They really didn't do a good job. He might have had like one or two at a time, but they really didn't do a good job of putting him with the best talent. So I don't seem like it's no sound on here. Let me see if there's anything else. I'm gonna check out. Might as well see if there's anything else out here. Let me see what this is.
Take on the intelligence community.
But he's taking these shots, this antagonism,
Yep.
this taunting to the intelligence
tell you.
community.
You take on the intelligence community, they have 6 ways from Sunday at getting back at you. So even for a practical, supposedly hard-nosed businessman, he's being really dumb to do today at getting back at you. You take on the intelligence community, they have 6 ways from Sunday at getting back at you. So even for a practical, supposedly hard-nosed businessman,
Taunting to the intelligence community.
you take on the intelligence community, they have 6 ways from Sunday at getting back at you. So even for a practical, supposedly hard-nosed businessman, he's being really dumb to do this.
What do you
We would hope that they actually doing stuff to make the country better, instead of sabotaging it. I hate sabotage.
think the intelligence community would do if they were motivated
I don't know,
to?
but from what I am told, they are very upset with how he has treated them and talked about them.
But he's
So he basically saying they got a vendetta against him.
And I'm still
What would you tell Joe Biden right now?
fuck your life, bro. I'm a United States citizen. You let immigrants in the United States of New York, and I'm still homeless, but I'm a United States citizen, right? And what are you doing, motherfucker?
So is this guy employable?
He's mad. Look, look at something.
Is he
What would you tell Joe Biden right now?
employable? Says CNN really aired this clip on O.J. Simpson. He wasn't a social justice leader, but he represented something for the black community, particularly because they were 2 white people killed and the history around black people persecuted during slavery. Yeah, you get these people. It's the reason you get these people on. They have the black people they have on TV are the black people they want on TV to push a certain narrative and have a certain image. They don't want people. They don't want you to have a black person to say, yeah, black people need to have their own stuff and ownership and all this other stuff. It is a lot of victimhood, a lot of false narratives to get another group angry and it's up to black people to, or at least the people that don't want to just be followers and want to control their own life. You got to do your own research and think for yourself and be objective. Is this lady even like a black American? Is she a Caribbean or African, pretending to be a black American? Because a lot of times that's what the media will do. They'll put somebody out there to act like they represent what a lot of the people are thinking. Not everybody thinks the same, but there's usually a consensus or a certain uh, you know popular thought out there. But let's just see.
But it was so racially charged because of what had happened just before with Rodney King, but also just how Black Americans feel about policing. It's not like O.J. Simpson was the leader of the civil rights movement of his era. You know, he wasn't a social justice leader, but he represented something for the Black community in that moment, in that trial, particularly because there were 2 white people who had been killed, and the history around how Black people have been persecuted during slavery. There were just so many layers. And I guess I would just close with this, is that I persecuted during slavery. Black people have been persecuted during slavery.
Just during slavery, like they put these people up here to basically see, they pay these people. It's a great. Let me see here. I gotta see this because I seen this thing where I had to see if I can find it. Shannon Sharp told Cam Newton, because Cam Newton was complaining about how a lot of these GMs for these teams don't be getting held accountable, which is he's right, and actually it's not just the GMs, it's the CEOs of companies. You know, this is the CEO of Blockbuster didn't even consider Netflix when Netflix came to him. He didn't have that vision, and as a result, Blockbuster went out of business. But I'll get to that clip in a second.
There's so many layers. And I guess I would just close with this, is that there was racial tension then, there is racial tension now.
Oh, but let me get back to my original thought about that. So basically, they hire these people to spread lies, and a lot of times they may even know that these Black people that they hire aren't really effective, you know, and they might even know that the Black people is hustling them, because some of these Black people are hustling them, tell them they can do this and that, but no, they can't, because there's no reason to really listen to them. You can debunk most of their stuff, really, if you just listen. If you get, when the facts and the evidence and the proof is around and obvious, that you can be debunked a lot of this stuff. And a lot of these people are not very interesting. Also, you know, like they come with a bland, um, like real PG kind of approach, and people don't really want to hear that stuff, man.
It might not be the backdrop of the Trump.
Well, I would say the older generation that's willing to let's listen to that, it's not really gonna matter after a while.
Campaign, but until this country is ready to actually have an honest conversation about the racial dynamics from our.
Well, look, hold on. Until this country is, forget about that. You need to. It's inflation out here. You need to be worried about how you gonna beat this inflation. Forget trying to change the hearts and minds of people that's sick. Up there. That's what I'm saying. Looking for acceptance. Well, because maybe, and she is up here. Maybe she willing to deceive people. See, racist at their heart, they just deceivers and people that want to feel better than somebody else. And Black people, some Black people want to feel better than other Black people. She'll take being second. Well, not her per se, but there's some Black people that will take, and other races that will take being second fiddle, as long as they can have somebody else to look down on. There's some people like that in this world, but usually those people is haters and they insecure and they jealous.
Actually have an honest conversation about the racial dynamics from our origin story till today. We will always have moments like O.J. Simpson that manifest, and our country will always be divided if we don't actually deal with the issue of race. But
some people don't care about that, and usually the racists don't care if the country is divided. They want the country divided. So what is your point? You know what I'm saying? Like what is the point? You just want to go in circles trying to convince these people to do right? So you're doing wrong. I wanted you to do right, but again, a lot of these same people, if it's a Black person, they like forget them, get away from them. I'm moving to another neighborhood. It says history teaches the continuity of the development of science. We know that every age has its own problems, which the following age either solves or casts aside as profitless and replaces by new ones. If we would obtain an idea of the probable development of mathematical knowledge in the immediate future, we must let the unsettled questions pass before our minds and look over the problems which the science of today sets and whose solutions we expect from the future. To such a review of problems, the present day lying at the meeting of the centuries seems to me well adapted. For the close of a great epoch not only invites us to look back into the past, but also directs our thoughts to the unknown future. David Hilbert. So history teaches the continuity of the development of science. And he's saying every age has its own problems. Says the following age either solves or casts aside as profitless. Like with the blockbuster and the streaming, and replaces by new ones. I guess you gotta have the stuff for the streaming. It says that we would obtain an idea of the probable development of mathematical knowledge in the immediate future. We must let the unsettled questions pass before our minds and look over the problems which the science of today sets and whose solutions we expect from the future. Yeah, but that's a lot. And nobody's really talking about stuff like that. Well, I guess physics and history found this. It says to such a review of problems the present day lying at the meeting of the centuries seems to me well adapted. For the close for the close of a great epoch for the close of a great epoch not only invites us to look back into the past, but also directs our thoughts to the unknown future. But that's a lot to kind of. But I think I can kind of see what he's saying. Let's see here. And I'll end on this one. Let me see what it says about Steve Jobs here. I couldn't really open it up. It says here's CNN justifying O.J. Simpson murder and two white people because of slavery 200 years ago. And these people like this, like, first of all, it's like not even a person in the profile. So we're not dealing with a person that want to personally take responsibility for their words. But it says CNN justifying O.J. Simpson murder. And does this person really know if O.J. murdered or even looked into the case, or were they watching CNN and other media outlets and had their opinion shaped by that? More than likely, I don't know. I can't really assume that, but I'm just going off of probability. And then they put in white people. Why does it matter if you ain't worried about race? Why you worried about the color of the person's skin? These people is hypocrites. Enough of it. The coons is hypocrites. The racists is hypocrites, and they just time wasters just complaining all the time instead of doing something great. At least some of the racists that do something great, they can at least say they did something. Most of these people just piggyback over other, off of other people's accomplishments and try to take credit for it.